Hey, I got stuff for you today from the right edition, and it's right. Everything else that you see politically is wrong. Politically right is right, and left is wrong. Hey, and today we have some cowboy kind of stuff, so I wanted to start off with a couple of pieces of cowboy stuff. If a cowboy rides into town on Friday and 3 days later leaves on Friday, how does he do it? The horse's name was Friday. Simple stuff. Why did the cowboy's car stop? It had engine trouble. Okay, in the US of A, you got Joe Biden. He's recently published this document that he calls the Biden Plan to advance all of that alphabet stuff, LGBTQ, equality in America and around the world. So he's not satisfied just to make the rest of America gay. I guess he wants to take it around the world, right? Good grief. On his first day in office, Biden says that he will reinstate the Obama-Biden guidance revoked by the Trump administration to restore transgender students access to sports bathrooms and locker rooms in accordance with their gender identity. Under Biden's rule, a human being who God and nature made male will be allowed to play girls' sports and use the female bathrooms and locker rooms. That's not good. I mean, that's not good. I mean, a man wants to go and see girls in the bathroom. He says that I'm a girl today, and in he goes and is legally fine. These people are nuts. They really are crazy. I mean, there is the DNA thing going on, right? Here you have a man in Norwalk, Virginia. He's been charged with allegedly casting votes in 3 elections on behalf of his mother, who is dead. And he's a Democrat, of course. And also in Los Angeles, I should share with you that in 2019, they decided to remove as many as 1 million registered voters from their voters list. And in LA, right now, 112% of the entire adult population is registered to vote. What does that tell you? It tells me that there's a bunch of Democrats in charge of all the machines and the pencils and so on, and they're trying hard to screw it up. I mean, they've tried everything with Trump. They've tried the impeachment, they've tried the Russian and all the other hoaxes and so on. They can't get rid of them. There's almost 70 million Americans who said, we want them, we voted for them, and they're saying, we don't like that. We're unhappy with that. We need to change it. And so now they're looking at the ultimate, which is the cheat. I believe they cheat all the time anyway, but now they need to be big cheats to make it work, right? I mean, wow. I hope that Trump watches this. I know he will. He's got guys out there. You got the cheat police that have to take care of all these scamps and scoundrels and make sure that they don't get to cheat. And if they don't cheat, our side will win. The wall. Let me share this with you. The U.S.-Mexican border. It's 1,974 miles long, almost 2,000 miles, and only 300 miles of wall have been built. That's about 15%. What a struggle. The wall needs money. The left has the bank account. The left won't do anything that the president wants. Nothing at all. You know what? They would actually sell the plow to buy the seed. That's kind of how they think. The Republicans must win the presidency. They must. The president must win both houses, or otherwise, you know what? I got to tell you, we could be doomed. It has been a struggle watching these people act. I mean, let all of them come in. We'll give them free education. We'll spend $1 trillion, but we won't give you a couple of billion to build the wall. How did Nancy Pelosi ever get in charge of the bank account? What a mystery that is. And then you have the fence on the other side. Around Vancouver, Canada, some feds are saying, hey, you know what? There's people walking across the border. We're going to build a wall. You should see their wall. They put up a little rope and said, here's your fence now. That wouldn't even keep out a billy goat. But anyway, it's kind of interesting. Then you have the Deputy Prime Minister, somebody, Freeland. And she says, the United States, they have made a decision to impose a 10% tariff on some Canadian aluminum products, and that's absurd. It's got nothing to do with national security. We will respond swiftly and strongly, and they're all so upset. And the Premier of Ontario, he too is upset. You guys don't watch the news or something? I mean, don't you remember there's a guy that ran that said America first? I mean, that's what he said, and that's what he's doing. He continues to do that. You should be so lucky that you still have some things that you can sell to America, right? Because they don't need Canadian stuff. They don't need anybody's stuff. You know, is that a bad thing? I mean, why don't you start making widgets and wadgets? I mean, I think of Alberta and Saskatchewan. The oil business is in shambles because of that commie that's running the country, the prime mistake. I mean, why doesn't somebody, instead of whining about oil, why doesn't somebody, a government person, go to them and say, hey, we're good now. We know that we shouldn't be buying shirts that are made in Bangladesh and shoes that are made in China. Why don't you guys start up little factories? You can do that. There's a way to succeed. There's always lemonade wherever there's lemons, okay? And these politicians, they don't work for that. They don't work with that. And they need to. You guys in Ontario, instead of complaining, we always knew the president was doing this. America first. Doesn't matter if you agree with it or not. He's in charge, and he's saying that Canada treats us badly. Is it true? Is it untrue? I don't know. But he knows. He thinks he knows, and he's got the power. He wants Americans to have the jobs. He doesn't want Canadians to have the jobs, and they make their own aluminum. Get over it. You can argue a little bit for the sake of your country, and you should, but encourage them to do other things instead of just fighting. Get widgets and get wedges. Here is a guy in Alberta, former cabinet minister in the Alberta government. He's saying the Wild Rose Independent Party is good. Lloyd Snellgrove, he was a great politician, but he's a smart guy now. Still, the system doesn't work, he says. It doesn't work. We are thousands of miles away from the people who make the decisions. We don't count out in the West. And you're right, Lloyd, you don't count. He was in the riding of Vermilion Lloydminster in the 2001, 2004, and 2008 provincial elections. And so many guys like him are saying this. They're going public now. They're saying we need to separate from the other places of Canada, particularly the East, because they're dumb and they're wobbling from us. Lloyd's not saying that. I'm adding some verbiage there, but that's pretty much it. Now, to end today, I want to show you a fast little video. I was a cowboy when I was young. We started off with cowboy stuff, and I rode in rodeos for years, and I broke a lot of bones in my body. My kids always laugh because one way I have broken both my wrists, and I often go like this because it makes my wrists feel better. They always say, don't do that. Anyway, I now have a grandson. He's 8 years old, and he just rode in a rodeo recently, and I want you to watch this.
Nathan or Mason? Mason.
Mason, ladies and gentlemen, shoot down your kid.
He's got courage, that kid. He's got guts. I'm going to share this with him. The only good reason to ride a bull is because you might get to meet a nurse. Y'all come back. See ya.